This is Dream Chasers, episode 26, with Sarah Blossom. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Adam Carswell, and welcome to Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future. On Dream Chasers, we interview individuals with supernatural amounts of potential based on early success in their careers. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's get straight to the interview. Hey guys, this is Adam Carswell, and today I'm joined by Sarah Blossom. Sarah is a title agent with Ratified Title Group. She's originally from Troy, Ohio, went to Rowan University in Glassboro, New Jersey, and she now lives in the young and bustling town of Leesburg, Virginia. Sarah, thanks for being on the show today, and do you have any opening remarks for our listeners?
Just want to say hi, Adam, and thank you so much for having me on this podcast.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting to know you a little more and learning about the dreams that you're chasing and the journey that you're on. It's pretty exciting. So I have to say, actually, the way I connected with Sarah was a pretty distinctive way when I was a realtor in the DC area, which wasn't really too long ago at all. She Facebook messaged me, and you know those title agents, they're pretty. The ones that are good, they're pretty aggressive. And so Sarah, this is the first time that I had ever really received a business-related message like that on Facebook, but I had heard of people doing that. And to me, it stood out. I mean, I hadn't really ever had anyone do that before. And so we connected, we got coffee, and now we're here. So Sarah, thanks for doing that.
Here we are. Thanks for responding.
So when did you begin your journey with Ratified Title?
I've been with Ratified Title for about a year now.
And when during this first year did you realize that this was something that you wanted to take to the next level?
I would say when I finally looked forward to checking my messages for work, whether it was email, text message, or a voicemail, I just really loved meeting the new agents and helping them grow their business, along with the service that I'm able to provide them. It just really is fulfilling to me.
Was there, within the past year, a time or a moment that you would kind of consider like a defining moment where you were like, wow, this really is something that I'm going to be passionate about?
Yeah, I would say after I had a pretty big agent, I went ahead and reached out to them. We connected, and we've been together since. And just the fact that I was able to prove myself, they trusted me, and the friendship that has grown from that, I thought, you know what? I do have what it takes to make it and stay in this business. Nice.
What would you say is your why? Why are you driven to do what you do on a daily basis?
My why is to be financially independent, and also for my three sons to see that my actions match my words. So for me, my biggest thing is just in day to day and in life that nobody's coming to save your day. And so if you want something to work, if you want something, you have to work for it.
Right. And you're putting that work in daily, including messaging people on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I do. I just feel like the worst they can say is no. And so by making the calls, sending the emails, visiting the broker offices, if you don't try, you're not going to make it.
What are some other creative ways that you've been able to create relationships and connections?
I don't know if they're necessarily creative. It's just a matter of like who I am. I'm a very social, talkative person by nature. And so I meet people very easily and it just comes natural to me. So it's just a matter of meeting people and asking them what they do for a living, having just brief meetings, whether it's at a Starbucks, a Panera, at their broker's office, even just meeting at a park and it's a beautiful sunny day, something informal so they feel comfortable, and just see what comes from that.
Absolutely. I'm curious. So what brought you to this industry? Was there, again, any definitive moment where you were looking maybe for a career change, or you knew that this was your calling?
I was looking for a career change. So I had done commercial industrial loans and leases for about 15 years. And I wanted something more flexible as far as being able to work from home. I have 3 kids, and so this allows me to not only work from home, but then what I love is that I can travel all over Northern Virginia every day, where I get to places that I normally would never go to, given my previous job. But now I'm able to just travel throughout Northern Virginia, and I love it.
Couldn't agree more. And also for myself, being an Ohio native, moving to Northern Virginia, you're actually kind of, I don't know if you can relate to this, but you're kind of blown away, because I know when I would tell people back home that I lived in Virginia, they kind of just think like, oh, the state of Virginia. Northern Virginia is very different from the rest of the state.
Yeah. Yes, they think, the mountainside of Virginia, but Northern Virginia is very hustle bustle. You know that there is traffic 7 days a week. So there's that struggle. But outside of that, I mean, you have so many different options and places to go to, amazing restaurants. It's just, I love it.
What's your favorite restaurant in Leesburg?
The Conch. The Conch, I know it's a weird name. It's a chef who was on actually the Food Network, and he started the restaurant. And then that's my favorite place for dinner. But my favorite place for breakfast is a place called Dolce and Ciabatta. Ooh. If anyone is Epworth area, it is the most delicious restaurant. They came over from France. I've met the owner and his wife. They're super sweet, and the food is outstanding.
Great. So for all of our Northern Virginia and Leesburg listeners, you know where to go now. I know where to go now too. Yeah. when I come back and visit. What would you say are some of the downsides to being in the title industry, and what are some of the positives?
A couple downsides are obviously the traffic of Northern Virginia. And if an agent isn't hooked up with a solid lender, that can hinder closing. So I have personally never had a closing not happen because of the title side. The only thing I can recommend to agents is to really, really talk to the senior agents and get linked up with a solid lender to ensure that they're not going to screw up the lending side of your deal, because I have never, knock on wood, had a deal not happen or go to closing because of the title side.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. So what would some of the positives be?
Some of the positives, the people that I get to meet. And I think the biggest thing that I like about it is that you meet different agents, and yeah, they're in the industry, but then you get to know people on a personal level and you build friendships from there, which other jobs that I've had, you have your coworkers and your friends to an extent. It's kind of like work friendship. But the friendships that I've built, I meet up and hang out with agents that I've become friends with over the past year outside of work. And it's something I really love. What
industry leaders and role models are you inspired by?
Industry leaders, I've been in it for a year. So I'd have to say my boss, John Wood, his hard work, the training that he has provided me. He has a contagious joy. Like, he's just a genuinely happy person. And he brings that to the office literally every day. And just what he's built. He's been in the industry for 17 years. I've been in it for 1 year. So I've learned so much from him. Also, my friend, who I've been friends with now for about 6 years, she's one of the top real estate agents. Her name is Samantha. She has been in this industry for about 20 years. Just watching her and John and the hard work. And I know that the hours that they put in, you have to have thick skin to be in this industry. And they have taught me that and shown me that. And then as far as a role model, wait, did you ask me the role model part yet?
Leaders, role models. So we can kind of group this all into one answer.
Okay. Then as far as a role model, I would say my mom, my grandmother, my cousin Jeremiah, and then my best friend Jessica. They've all taught me different things, personally and professionally. I admire all of them tremendously. And I wouldn't be where I am today without them. And obviously my husband, Corey, who has been there and just watched me grow. And he's been my biggest cheerleader. So obviously I love them all, love him the most.
Nice. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Where is Sarah Blossom? What's her life going to look like in 3 years?
A first class flight to Hawaii.
I'll join you on that.
I've never been. So I'm like, in 3 years, I'm going to Hawaii. Really, I would love for my name, Sarah Blossom, AKA Awesome Blossom, as you nicknamed me when we met. To just be known for my hard work, my persistence, and to be known, respected, most importantly, for the agents that I do work with to refer me to other agents in this industry. Everybody knows that's the highest compliment. To be referred to another peer by a client is huge.
Absolutely. What advice would you give to individuals getting started in the title industry? So, for example, what advice would you have given to yourself a year ago? And can you also give an example of something maybe you wish you would have done differently?
Advice to myself a year ago would have been, don't take things personally. And, just keep pushing every single day. Be self-driven, positive. I enjoy helping other people. And, you just have to be capable of managing multiple projects at one time while maintaining a smile and a great attitude.
Couldn't agree more. I think that's a universal law right there, but definitely in real estate, you got to have those
Yeah,
skills.
you have to have thick skin, and you cannot take things personally.
What's and if you don't have an example, that's fine. But do you have an example of something maybe you wish you would have done differently looking back?
For me personally, I don't think that way about doing things differently, because for me, it leans towards regret. And for me, I appreciate the process of life and just the lessons learned along the way. And it's gotten me where I am today.
Again, I couldn't agree more with that answer. I think if I was ever interviewed on my show, I would have a very similar answer to that. You gotta appreciate every single second and be grateful for every second.
Certainly. I mean, yeah, there's been tough times. There's things that's like, wow, I wish I would have known now what I knew then. But it's a lesson learned, and you just push forward.
That's right. Awesome blossom. What is okay? Actually, so now we're transitioning. We've got three more questions, three fun questions. You can answer these in any order, any order you want. They're kind of rapid fire. So, what is your favorite phone application, your favorite shoe brand, and your favorite breakfast dish?
My favorite phone app would have to be Waze. I wouldn't make it to an appointment without it. Anyone who knows that I have absolutely no sense of direction. I mean, if we're in the car and you tell me to go north or south, we're screwed, because I need Waze to tell me where to go. As far as my favorite shoe brand, I'm a good old Nine West person, and I love Jessica Simpson shoes. Both brands, especially Jessica Simpson, are super, super comfortable, even with the high heel or the platform, and it's completely worth the cost. So invest in those shoes.
Okay, good to know. Not not personally, but still good to know. I would have
maybe but for the women listening.
Right, exactly, or maybe surprise for Allie.
Hey, you are so thoughtful.
Breakfast dish. What's your favorite breakfast dish?
Favorite breakfast dish. My Aunt Mary taught me how to make this, and it is called breakfast pizza.
All right, you got to give us the recipe now.
So I call it Ohio food. There's really nothing healthy about Ohio food that I make, but
I can agree.
It'll stick to your ribs. So you take 2 batches of croissants and you spread them out onto a pizza tray.
Okay.
Then you brown up some some Jimmy Dean sausage.
Okay.
Regular, whatever your flavor. If you like sage, I don't like the sage one. I just do regular old Jimmy Dean. Then you get a bag of shredded hash browns. Mm-hmm. And so you do the layer of croissant, the layer of sausage that's been browned and cooked. Then you do a layer of the shredded hash brown.
Wow.
Then you do a layer of Mexican blend shredded cheese. Then you crack 10 eggs.
Oh, okay.
And you pour the eggs really slowly over top. Bake it in the oven, 375 for about 15 minutes.
That sounds pretty good. If that was sitting in front of me right now, I would definitely crush it.
It is delicious.
That might actually, personally, that's a big takeaway from this interview. I know we had some great content, but if there's anything I'm going to implement right away, it might be that.
It's a huge hit in my house. I make it literally on a weekly basis, because between my kids and my husband, it's a go-to food. I make it on Sunday, and they can just heat it up in the morning, and it's a quick, easy meal.
I love it. Well, Sarah, thank you for joining us today. It's been great having you on, and I look forward to our future conversations. Is there any way that anyone listening that might be interested in getting into the title industry or have any questions about working with you, how can they get in touch with you?
They can email me directly at sarah@ratifiedtitle.com, or give me a call, which is 703-627-1819.
Perfect. That will be in the show notes. All right. Yep. Again, Sarah, thank you for joining us today here on Dream Chasers.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Adam, so much for having me on your podcast.
You got it. All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next episode. Remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.